Live from KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Some heavy rain, thunder, and lightning for parts of our area with another day of downpours for some.
So let's send things on over to meteorologist Sarah Spivey. She is here with the latest. Sarah.
Yeah, the latest is some lucky folks are getting some rain. You know, yesterday we kind of had most of the rain on the north side, and today most of the rain has happened to fall on the south side of San Antonio. So kind of evening out in a lot of areas. This is the kind of rain that we're going to be dealing with both tomorrow and Friday. These pop-up downpours that happen in the afternoon, causing some headaches for the evening commute, but really, honestly, we need the rain, so it's not too bad. You can see right near Palo Alto College getting some good downpours. And then on the north side of town, you can see from Selma to Windcrest, we've got another shower and storm popping up here. I'm going to go ahead and put this in motion just within the last 15 minutes. And you can see it popping up right there near Selma, right near Wetmore, and right just north of 281. All of these storms are putting out these thin green lines that you see here. Those are called outflow boundaries, which help to spawn some additional showers and storms. So if you still have not gotten any rain today, there is still a little possibility through sunset, because after sunset, these showers and storms lose their main source of fuel. So a 30% chance in your backyard for a thunder shower. You could get some heavy rain if you get some rain over your area. And then by sunset, we'll be watching those rain chances go down. It'll be a mild evening with temperatures near 79 by midnight. Keep in mind, we've got some more opportunities to win the rainfall lottery in the coming days. Those details coming up.
All right, thanks, Sarah. You know, Sarah mentioned the evening commute could be messy where this rain is falling. Take a look here, I-35 south at Loop 410. You can see visibility is not great. A lot of road spray out there. And when it comes down so heavy and so fast, you've got to watch out for those low water crossings in our area. They can fill up fast. So be careful out there if you're headed out or headed home. Well, it wasn't from Hurricane Beryl, but windy, rainy weather yesterday still dealt a blow to people at a local apartment complex.
That's right. A tree fell right on top of parked cars. Now, you look at this and the first thing you wonder is whether people were hurt. Well, the answer is no. But as Katrina Weber shows us, it's still a pain in the pocket for at least one car owner.
Things didn't just go bump in the night at the Mission Villas apartments. They crashed with a loud boom that shook Amanda Quintero as she put her children to bed.
Me and my husband were both in shock. We're like, what, like, is this real? At first we thought it was a dream.
It was more like a nightmare for the owners of these cars. A tree at the apartment complex not far from Pleasanton Road and Southwest Military suddenly uprooted and fell. Glass, car parts, and debris went flying.
While Quintero noticed this damage right away, she says her biggest concern was that there could be people hurt. She wanted to make sure there was no one inside the cars.
Thankfully, the cars were empty, but we got a hold of everyone who had the vehicles and alerted them about what had happened.
Mine's the little black one in there.
Dolores Montoya had just come home after a road trip to South Carolina. She took the only parking space available.
It was full, so we were just so tired and we just parked. And
in hindsight now, she and others say there were warning signs about the tree, especially when the wind picked up earlier in the day.
You could see that the tree was already like swaying and tipping over, and that's when I knew like it was gonna fall, but I didn't know it was gonna fall this soon.
No one could have predicted when or where it would land. Unfortunately, it hit Montoya's car, which was already paid for in full.
To start all over again now, but we're gonna go see what we can do about it.
She's worried about how a new car might also hit her in the wallet. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thankful no one was hurt there. We now know the names of a couple arrested after a standoff with law enforcement at a motel in Pearsall. This was breaking news last night on the Night Beat. According to Texas DPS, Willie Frank Terrell and Jessica Terrell are accused of taking 3 children from Indiana and then barricading themselves in that motel on Comal Street. The 2 adults and 3 children were the subject of a silver alert in Indiana that was issued back on July 5th. The standoff last night ended peacefully. Both suspects are now facing charges, though, of interference with child custody. There were also pending charges out of Indiana. DPS is working to reunite those children with family.
Now we're learning new details about a man killed in a shootout with SAPD SWAT officers. The man killed has been identified as 52-year-old Juan Antonio Hernandez. SAPD says that Hernandez had 3 active felony warrants, but didn't have a parole violation, which is different because that is what police had told us yesterday. Now back to the shooting. This happened on Morning View Drive near Pecan Valley. And according to SAPD, Hernandez barricaded himself inside of a house for hours. Investigators say that when he did come out, he fired a gun, hit 2 SWAT vehicles. Now officers fired back and hit Hernandez. He died at the hospital. Nobody else was hurt.
Beryl may have hit Houston, but San Antonio felt it too. Spectrum confirmed that outages yesterday were connected to that storm. The lack of internet and even phone service left some local businesses scrambling to come up with workarounds.
We had a complete shutdown. I mean, everything that we do runs on our internet services. So our VoIP phones, from any of the information we were collecting, payment information, everything was a standstill. And it's you have to find creative ways, to call people back and make sure that they get those payments in. Luckily, we're in a great community and everybody has been compliant.
Had to do it the old-fashioned way, huh? The website Down Detector shows that after a huge spike yesterday, there were only a few more outage reports than normal today.
Now a man accused of killing his roommate told police that it was an accident.
Yeah, today jurors heard Quavante Walls describe the 2022 shooting during his recorded police interrogation. Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom.
I know for sure I wanted the gun and I clearly shot him, but not intention.
Video shows Quavante Walls tell police in May 2022 he didn't mean to shoot Mario Miller. Investigators say Walls fatally shot Miller at their apartment on Sherrillbrook Road, not far from Bandera and Evers. Miller's body was found near the front door with a gunshot to the head. Walls was later found walking away from the complex. In the video shown to the jury, Walls tells the detective they argued about money, but says Miller threatened him with a gun.
So we had just got done fighting at this point. I know I took the gun from him.
Walls says he cannot remember what happened next, but says he panicked and left. The detective then leaves the room. Walls begins to pace back and forth and can be heard speaking and praying out loud.
Heavenly Father, please forgive me for all my sins.
When the detective comes back, he tells Walls they have surveillance footage of the shooting.
He's got bags in his hands, and he's walking out the door, and he gets shot in the back of the head. He's shot in the back of the head.
I know, I didn't mean to though.
It will be up to the jury to decide if this was an accident or not. When they do deliberate, they can find him guilty or not guilty of murder. At the Catherine Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Now we'll go to news around Texas. 54 migrants had to be rescued from the Rio Grande near El Paso. 30 divers from multiple agencies assisted with that rescue. Officials say that about 6 people had suffered from hypothermia, but their conditions aren't considered serious. The rescued migrants are all adults, and they've been turned over to law enforcement.
Now to the latest on the effort to get power back on in Houston after Hurricane Beryl. According to the city's power provider, CenterPoint Energy, 1.2 million people are still in the dark, and around 1 million customers have had their power restored. Today, FEMA announced that President Joe Biden has approved a major disaster declaration for the area to help in the recovery efforts.
The San Antonio Food Bank is stepping up this summer to help kids who normally rely on schools in order to get their meals.
Tiffany Huerta shares how the nonprofit Summer Meals for Kids program works.
My mom would walk me down to the elementary school and we would all get in the gym and they would have packed lunches for us, during the summertime.
And that's why volunteering at the San Antonio Food Bank is incredibly meaningful for Jabara Smith.
I really, really enjoy this. It really makes me feel warm inside, that I know I'm helping out kids, helping out people that, need to be fed throughout the summer.
Smith is one of the dedicated volunteers helping pack nutritious meals for local kids this summer.
I love every part of it.
The San Antonio Food Bank says more than 200,000 students living in low-income households in the San Antonio area rely on school meals. And its Summer Meals for Kids program aims to fill the summer meal gap by offering free nutritious meals and groceries.
The school lunch program does such a great job of nourishing kids during the school year, but the summer, kids go without. And so the food bank has to step up. And there's so many great organizations and people and companies that join us to make sure kids don't go hungry during the summer.
This program runs until August 16th. Here is a map of all the different sites where the meals are being distributed.
Oftentimes our locations are literal apartment complexes where moms and dads had to go to work, kids are home, and it's the community center at the apartments where the meals are delivered and kids are fed from that community center. We just want to make sure that no child goes hungry.
Would you say this year's summer program has been a success?
It's a huge success from our vantage point to see a child get a meal at one of these sites. It's so humbling, it's inspiring, but knowing it wouldn't happen without this great city and great partners that make it happen.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
So you know that this is because of volunteers that this is able to happen. You could learn more about volunteering at the food bank this summer by heading to our website, ksat.com.
At the end of the day, I can't do my job without DPS's help.
Still to come here at 6 o'clock, it's been 6 months since Texas DPS shut out Border Patrol from Shelby Park in Eagle Pass. Tonight at 6:30, an exclusive interview with the chief of the Border Patrol's Del Rio sector on his relationship now with the state agency.
Also the S in STEM stands for science, and that's what Texas Biomed is exposing more high school students to as they plan for future careers. You're going to see how that's working out this summer after the break. And taking a look outside with live cam, some showers still out there right now. So how long are those going to last for our area? And do we have any more chances this week? Meteorologist Sarah Spivey has it all coming up.
A new gun safety and education initiative from Bexar County is coming in the next couple of days. Coming up tonight on the Night Beat, we'll walk you through how local groups can soon get this funding and what the application process looks like.
For the first time, Bexar County high school students are getting a glimpse at what it's like to be scientists working inside Texas Biomedical Research Institute.
So this is specifically for the Valero Young Scientist Program. Over 4 weeks, 37 local students are exposed to careers in science. Sounds pretty cool. Patty Santos tells us how the program is making an impact.
Know that plasmids are really hard to maintain, which is why we have antibiotics within this one and not within this one. So
these students are actually doing an experiment in which they are separating DNA from a bacteria.
High school students are doing something very similar to what scientists are doing inside the Texas Biomed Research Facility. For 4 weeks, they'll be learning directly from scientists who are pioneering breakthroughs in infectious disease.
And it's a learning opportunity for them as well as for us on how can we better engage our youth in interest in science careers.
Dr. Rosemary Riggs, Director of Education and Outreach Program, says this program is focused on giving ethnic minorities and females in public schools an introduction into science careers.
Most of these students will be first-generation college students. These are students that are typically underrepresented within the science community.
77 applications were submitted by local students who wanted to be in the program. Only 37 got in. Amy Craig is one of them.
I for sure know that I want to be a scientist and research and work in a lab.
3 weeks into the program, she knows a career in lab work and science is for her.
It's definitely more experimental, like it should be like an actual lab, and I've learned how to use a lot of different tools.
You're going to put this little cover over the orange, and you can take your phone and put your phone over the hole and take a picture, and then you can, and that will also be considered part of your data. This program is so important. It is so important for our community, and it's so important for our youth, because our youth, these kids are amazing. And if we just give them the opportunity.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
The application for the program opens up early next year, and students must be high school juniors or seniors to apply.
All right, now let's get you ready for the rest of the day. We've been talking about that rain that we've been waiting on, many of us, and we finally got it.
Yeah, some people got some really good numbers, Sarah.
Absolutely, and we'll take a look at those numbers here shortly, but this is the kind of rainfall that we're going to be dealing with in the next couple of days. Just like yesterday, we have pop-up downpours. Now, those who got rain today, different than those who got rain yesterday, and it's kind of going to be a rainfall lottery because in the afternoon, a few showers and storms will pop up. Let's go ahead and take a look at where the rain is falling right now. We have a shower that just popped up inside of 1604 there on the northeast side, and then a good thunderstorm bringing heavy rain to McDonough, Somerset, and starting to move into Atascosa County just to the north of Lemming. Now, there's no hail with these. There are some gusty winds, but not necessarily winds that create some damage. The biggest thing from these showers and storms is how heavy the rain is falling. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the rain and where it's fallen just within the last couple of hours here. Very heavy rain has fallen for some neighborhoods nearer to China Grove. I'm going to take some of these samplings here. About 2.5 inches of rain near China Grove. Highlands High School area, you've seen 2.5 inches of rain there as well. And this is in a matter of about 30 to 40 minutes. So this is some very heavy rain in these areas. I'm going to go back to the radar before I show you that picture more in depth. But a great example of the kind of rain that we're going to see in the coming days. You may not be guaranteed rain in the coming days, but if you get a shower or storm, it will create some heavy downpours, which can cause some flooding issues for some low-lying areas like what we're seeing on the south side right now. And then out near Kennedy, Goliad, George West, we're seeing some good rain there as well. And then I don't want to forget our friends out to the west near Del Rio. Good downpour has happened there with plenty of flashes of lightning as well. Let's take a look at some of your pictures sent into KSAT Connect. I love this picture from Taylor McClelland. You can see clearly the isolated nature of this shower right over downtown. He says that downtown won the rain lottery. I totally agree. And take a look at how heavy this rain is falling. It's almost blinding. Looks like snow, though, how heavy that rain is falling in those areas. Thank you for sending in your KSAT Connect pictures. I want to show you that it's been a tale of two stories across the state of Texas. What you're looking at on your screen right here is a rainfall surplus or a rainfall deficit for the year. Take a look at Houston, take a look at Dallas, Texarkana. These areas have seen 10 plus more inches of rain than they usually do by this time. Meanwhile, can you see that we're in drought here in San Antonio? I know you can. We've seen a rainfall deficit of about 1.5 inches with, unfortunately, Del Rio, about 8 inches of rain deficit for the year so far. So it's good that Del Rio got a little bit of rain today. And as we look ahead to the forecast tomorrow, Friday, another chance for you to see some rain in your backyard. You'll have to win the rain lottery. It's a 30% chance, but it is a chance between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. with the daytime heating. Clouds and radar showing what's left of Beryl all the way up in parts of Canada now. Behind that, we've got a stationary boundary. This is why we've been able to see a few storms pop up in the afternoon. That stationary front is not moving, and so it's allowing for some afternoon showers and storms to develop, which will be the case tomorrow. Again, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Don't pay attention of where this particular forecast model shows the rain. It just shows that it's possible during the afternoon tomorrow, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. So we'll wake up at 74 in the morning hours here in San Antonio. It's going to be a beautiful start to the day, mostly sunny, a little bit on the humid side. Then by the afternoon, we'll be at 90 degrees by noon, and it's afternoon that we'll see a few showers and storms pop up. 30% chance. If you've been hurting and wanting for rain, I hope you're one of the ones that get it in the next couple of days. As we look ahead, high pressure does move in and takes away all rain chances by the weekend and next week, guys.
Yeah, so savor them now. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you. So yesterday we showed Dak Prescott. He was wearing a boot.
Yeah.
People kind of went, what's up with that?
Right.
And today he's the one doing the talking because he wants something.
He does. He wants a contract extension, but at the same time, he doesn't seem really all that worried about it. I mean, he's wrapping up a 4-year, $160 million deal, so it's not like he hasn't been paid. But coming up, Dak talks about his contract extension that he wants. And we're also talking a new football program out at Long Creek High School coming up. We are are 2 weeks and 1 day away from the Dallas Cowboys' first practice at training camp in Oxnard, California, and Dak Prescott still doesn't have the new contract extension that he wants. Dak is entering the final season of his current deal, and with a no-trade clause, he holds a ton of leverage over the boys. Yesterday at his youth football camp, Dak updated his contract situation.
Yeah, I mean, there's been conversations back and forth, but for the most part, for me, as y'all know, I'm gonna let my agent do that, especially as we get right here into training camp. Day one of training camp, my mind flips to just obviously helping my team and just doing everything I can within the organization and on the football field to make sure that I'm my best and everyone around me is their best, and the money and all that will take care of itself as it always has.
Dak will soon hold his annual get-together with his wideouts and tight ends, and he said CeeDee Lamb, who's holding out for a new contract, plans to be there. Led by head football coach and boys athletic coordinator Adam Harvey, the Long Creek Dragons are getting ready to play some football. Long Creek is a brand new high school still under construction, and it's part of New Braunfels ISD. The Dragons are playing outlaw schedule, meaning they will not compete in a district, and they have no shot at the playoffs. Coach Harvey, who was defensive coordinator and secondary coach at Clemens for the past 2 seasons, and now he's heading up a brand new program.
There's certainly challenges. Absolutely. We're sitting here on a middle school field having to do what we do over here because of the construction. But, you know, it's the growing pains. We're going to do what we need to do to get to where we need to be, regardless of what facilities we're at. And so the district has been awesome with, you know, accommodating us as well as possible. We're playing our games at Unicorn Stadium, so that's going to be great, fantastic. While our stadium is being built, that bond passed this past May, and so we're really excited about it. And just, you know, with the challenges, we got to continue to move forward with what we got.
The Dragons will kick off their first ever regular season Thursday, August 29th at Katie Freeman. The Burning Greyhounds and Piper Warriors will face off in the 3rd annual KSAT Pigskin Classic. The game will go down Thursday, August 29th, 7 p.m. at Piper Warrior Coliseum. The game will be shown right here on KSAT 12, and it will be live stream on KSAT Plus, the BGC app, and KSAT.com. The Summer League Spurs wrapped up California play with a win, beating China 89-67 before heading off to Vegas. The Spurs led by 3 points at halftime. They blew the game open in the second half, holding China to 7 points in the third quarter and then 16 in the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that kind of set the tone for our second half, kind of opened our lead. You know, we was able to play in transition and get some easy buckets. So, you know, I think it was a big part of our run. And, you know, I feel like just going into, you know, Vegas, we kind of needed that.
Massive, especially when we can get stops, get out and run. That's the easiest way to score for us. We got a ton of capable ball handlers, a bunch of athletes that we can get out in the open floor and play. So stops is what is going to generate a lot of our offense.
The Spurs will now take part in the Las Vegas Summer League. Up first, the Portland Trailblazers Saturday night at 8. WNBA today, Washington and Indiana. And check out Fever rookie Caitlin Clark on the break with the behind-the-back pass to Alyssa Smith for a layup. That was sweet. Smith from East Central High School scored 11 points off the bench. Clark dropped into game-high 29, but the Mystics beat the Fever 89-84.
Just 5 points. Thank you.
You got it.
With all that's been happening along the U.S.-Mexico border, what is the relationship like right now between Texas DPS and Border Patrol? We're going to talk about that after the break.
A city park described as a battleground. So that right there is Shelby Park. And it spans 50 acres along the U.S.-Mexico border over in Eagle Pass.
In December, it became Border Patrol's temporary holding center for thousands of migrants. And now it's essentially a duty station for Governor Abbott's border mission, Operation Lone Star. 6 months ago, fencing and armed guards shut out Border Patrol from that public park.
And in an interview that you're only going to see right here on KSAT, the Border Patrol's chief agent of the Del Rio sector tells our Daniela Ibarra how those changes have affected the relationship between Texas and Border Patrol.
Beyond the fencing is the freedom of the water. For dozens of miles, Border Patrol agents travel up and down the Rio Grande. We got to ride along with them as they watch for signs of smuggling and illegal crossings.
We're about 10 to 15 miles away from Shelby Park. It's behind me. And this part of the Rio Grande, it's pretty shallow, about 18 inches or so. And in December, when we saw a surge of migrants, this is one of the spots that they crossed.
That distinction between the countries is stark near Shelby Park. On one side, vibrant Mexican murals. On the other, muted cargo boxes, fences, and silver coils of razor and concertina wire placed by the state. This is about the closest Border Patrol agents can get to this side of the city park. In January, Texas took control of it.
And so the next month is when the state took over Shelby Park. We're approaching 6 months since that takeover happened. How has that impacted what Border Patrol does?
So I don't know that there's probably some nuisance hindrance to it. Makes it a little more difficult to patrol that area.
Chief Border Patrol Agent Robert Danley oversees a 245-mile stretch of the border, including Shelby Park. Besides access to a boat ramp, his agents can't get in.
Well, I think it's an impediment. We've had to make some adjustments to the way that we operate to try to keep our surety of being able to take action when necessary.
The Justice Department stepped in, asking the Supreme Court to order Texas to stop blocking Border Patrol agents from the park. Governor Greg Abbott says Texas has the authority to control access to any geographic location in the state.
I'm just curious, have you had a conversation with Governor Abbott?
No, I have conversations with the DPS director. I know some of my subordinates talk directly with the National Guard and other people at their level, but I think Governor Abbott, his position is not for me to talk to him unless he was to come down and want to talk to us.
Would you say Border Patrol and Texas are partners?
Absolutely.
He says DPS agents who catch migrants in the park end up turning them over.
Would it help if the state allowed Border Patrol agents back into Shelby Park?
Absolutely. Anything that slows us down, I don't think is good. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the courts end up saying about it hopefully in the near future.
What are some misunderstandings that you think people have about that relationship between Border Patrol and the state of Texas?
Well, I think the way that I look at this is I want to maintain the relationships, because when the political fighting's over and the disagreements about what the policy should be, at the end of the day, I can't do my job without DPS's help. I can't, in a lot of cases, they can't do their job without our help.
Until they get full access again, Danley says agents will continue their duty to keep watch along the border.
Chief Danley says even with all the politics, at the end of the day, his agents are there to enforce the law with the resources they have. So definitely an interesting relationship there.
Yeah, and Daniela, it's one he described as a partnership between DPS and Border Patrol, but it seems like it's not without some friction after the state took over the park. So does he feel like the state controlling Shelby Park has hindered that partnership at all?
He didn't really say that specifically, but I mean, you heard him right there. He called it an impediment, which I thought was interesting. And the way he described it sounds like Border Patrol has to jump through extra hoops in order to do their job, because if somebody, crosses over into Shelby Park, DPS ultimately does have to turn it over to Border Patrol.
Right.
All right. So there's Border Patrol, and there's also the DPS, and then we have the migrants that we saw. All right. So where do the people of Eagle Pass stand in all this?
Yeah, a lot of people, we've gone to Eagle Pass several times over the past couple of months, and every time we've gone there, people are frustrated that they can't get into the park whenever they want to. This is a park that they grew up going to go fishing at. They grew up going to play soccer there. And back when this happened, the mayor said that, it kind of came as a surprise because they were planning to have their eclipse watch party there because that's where the eclipse entered, and they have to get permission to go in, so they're frustrated.
And they can still use the park, but they have to get approval from DPS that occupies it right now.
Yeah, and so do we. We tried to go into Shelby Park the day after that shoot, and we were kicked off because we didn't have permission beforehand.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously the president's executive order that went into effect a couple of weeks ago. How have the numbers of migrants changed in the time that he has been in this position?
So Chief Danley says that since he took over back in December, things have changed drastically. And actually, we talked with him about that, and that's something that you're going to see tonight at 10.
Okay. Daniela, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right now on KSAT.com, you can watch the full interview with Chief Robert Danley. There's more than what you saw here. Scan that QR code. It'll take you right to that interview to watch on demand. We'll be right back.
Now, New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is taking action against two members of the U.S. Supreme Court. Democratic lawmaker has introduced impeachment articles against Justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito. She says that their failures to disclose millions of dollars worth of gifts while on the high court, quote, represents nothing less than a constitutional crisis. Now, that effort from Ocasio-Cortez is expected to fail, though, because remember, the House is led by Republicans.
Thousands of Disneyland employees in California could be going on strike. A coalition of labor unions representing these workers is set to vote on a potential strike next week. The move comes after the group filed labor violation complaints against Disney. Contract talks with Disney started in April, but an agreement hasn't been reached yet. Disney released a statement on its website saying it's working on coming to terms on a deal that will help the company grow and create more jobs. 2 astronauts who should have been back on Earth weeks ago are speaking for the first time today from space.
As ABC's Alexis Christoforous reports, the astronauts are confident that Boeing's Starliner space capsule can bring them back home safely.
In their first press conference from orbit since arriving at the International Space Station more than a month ago, the 2 astronauts say they're confident Boeing's Starliner can return them home safely.
I feel confident that if there was a problem with the International Space Station, we can get in our spacecraft and we can undock, talk to our team, and figure out the best way to come home.
The pair have been confined to the space station for weeks after their June 5th launch on Boeing's first manned space flight, and NASA says there is still no return date on the horizon. The historic mission years behind schedule and billions of dollars over budget. But helium leaks in the propulsion system and faulty thrusters turned what was supposed to be a week-long mission into an indefinite stay in space. The veteran astronauts have been living and working on the space station, helping the expedition crew with research and maintenance. NASA officials insisting the astronauts are not stranded in space and that there's no race against the clock to bring them home, saying they're safe and have plenty of supplies in orbit.
We're fully certified for all aspects of life aboard the space station here.
NASA officials and Boeing engineers now focused on those faulty thrusters, conducting tests on the ground in New Mexico. Officials say they won't target a return date until testing is complete, which they say could take weeks.
That mantra you've heard, failure is not an option. That's why we are staying here now. We trust that the tests that we're doing are the ones that we need to do to get the right answers to give us the data that we need to come back.
NASA officials say they see no reason why the astronauts cannot return to Earth on Boeing's Starliner, and they plan to hold another press conference from orbit with the astronauts before they return home. Alexis Christoforous, ABC News, New York.
I mean, they're stuck in space, but cool, calm, and collected.
I'm sorry, I loved everything about that. I loved
really
her
did.
hair.
Yeah.
Her hair from space was amazing.
I loved it.
Space hair.
I was making a joke there, Myra, that the only thing that could make your Fiesta hair better when it's all in its curls is if you were in zero gravity.
Zero gravity.
Yeah.
We'll try to, figure that out next
Sounds
Fiesta.
good. Sounds good. We've got some rain in the area, but it's starting to wind down as the sun is setting. Still some heavy rain falling just near Poteet at the moment. As we zoom out a little bit more, you can see again things are starting to calm down, but there's still plenty of lightning out near Del Rio and lots of rainfall south of San Antonio. We're going to have another opportunity for rain tomorrow, isolated rain tomorrow and Friday. The timeline for that rain, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. And if you get rain like today, it'll be heavy at times. I'm going to time it out for you. When is your best opportunity for rain? Coming up in just a bit.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office has arrested 2 parents for allegedly injuring a 4-month-old baby. They're Andrea Esmeralda Mena and Jacobo Jimenez Sanchez. According to BCSO, a 4-year-old sibling told investigators that Sanchez threw the baby on the floor. Mena is charged with endangering a child. Sanchez is charged with injury to a child, causing serious bodily injury.
Power restoration efforts, that's still ongoing in Houston after Hurricane Beryl. At last check, more than 1 million people in that area, or customers I should say, are still without power. And around 1 million customers have had their power restored since that storm hit. Now, the president has approved a major disaster declaration to help with those recovery efforts.
You might not be thinking Fiesta, but today the Fiesta Flambeau Association announced the parade theme and the logo for 2025. Flambeau is known as America's largest illuminated night parade, and the theme for next year is Deep in the Arts of Texas. Organizers plan to announce their poster contest online tomorrow. And that's your 60-second recap.
I love how we just keep looking forward, right? Like we were done with Fiesta, and now we're talking about what the plans are going to be for next year. I love it.
fiesta. Yes. But we got some rain to talk about, and the great thing about this, Sarah, is you said the people who missed out yesterday, they got some today.
A lot of the people who missed out yesterday got some of the rain today. Now, there's still a small segment of our area that has missed out on the rain both today and yesterday, but hey, this is the kind of rain we're going to be dealing with over the next couple of days. Pop-up random downpours in the peak heat of the afternoon, so 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. You can see that there's still some good rain falling for areas nearer to Poteet at the moment, near Devine, Somerset, and Natalia. And then take a look farther to the south. A good swath of light to moderate rain falling from Kennedy to Victoria to Beeville. And then finally, I want to point out to our communities out to the west, nearer to Del Rio. You can see that there's a heavy thunderstorm falling south of Bracketville, south of Del Rio, kind of over the ranch lands there between Del Rio and Eagle Pass. But a lot of people got in on some good rain. What I want to show you right now is I want to show you a look at the rainfall amounts just within the last few days. Now, most of what you're seeing on your screen right now includes rainfall from today and from yesterday. And you can see there's still some gaps. There's still some gaps like right along the northwest side of town, along 410 there, Leon Valley, SeaWorld. Not seeing a ton of rain, but in the last couple of days, we've seen a lot of rain falling from Helotes to Leon Springs, up toward Bernie, Garden Ridge, Selma. Anywhere you see these yellows, that's about 2 inches of rainfall. Anywhere you see the oranges, that's closer to 3 inches of rainfall. And you can see that Seguin area, close to 5 inches of rainfall there. So one of the areas where the heaviest of the rain fell today was from Highland Park to China Grove, down to Palo Alto College and Garza Crossing, and into parts of northern Atascosa County. So there have been some that have missed out on the rain, but there have been some that have gotten some good rainfall, and that's kind of the pop-up showers and storms. It's the nature of pop-up showers and storms. We're going to have another chance tomorrow and take a look at another benefit of the rainfall. Temperatures falling. You can see the areas that missed out. Hondo, it's still 91. Uvalde, it's still 91, but it's 78 at Stinson, 73 in Poteet, 84 at the airport, finally seeing some rain cooling air there, and 85 in Bulverde. So again, what we're watching for the next couple of days, isolated showers and storms tomorrow and Friday. The timeline is 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. If you do happen to get a shower or storm, the rain will be heavy. It could even lead to some minor flooding issues. Looking at your clouds and radar across the nation, you know what? It's fairly quiet with the exception of the rain we're seeing here in south central Texas and then farther up to the northeast where they're dealing with the remnants of Beryl. We've got a stationary front just draped over south central Texas. That combined with the humid air is what is allowing for us to see this unsettled weather pattern where during the peak heat of the day we see some of that isolated rain. And that's what it shows in the futurecast too. After 2 p.m., a few pop-up showers and storms. You'll have to end up being one of the lucky ones that gets rain, but it is still a possibility. Hopefully we can fill in some more of those gaps. 74 in the morning and mostly sunny. By noon, it'll be 90 and partly cloudy, 30% chance in the afternoon, and we'll see a high of 95. So we've been avoiding the triple digits, but we're going to come close to it by the weekend and into next week because high pressure system is going to settle over and we'll say goodbye to our chances of rainfall, our daily chances of rain. It's been nice. It's been re-energizing to see some rain in the area the last couple days.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. The Buzz up next. So if you left your pet in a vehicle, in a rideshare, for instance, would you notice? Yeah, I think so. But that wasn't the case for a passenger over in Minneapolis. Police are saying that a rideshare driver found that thing, a boa constrictor, in their back seat, and they think that a passenger is what left that thing behind there.
What happens when this person got home? Where is my boa constrictor?
Police say it's small.
Yeah, they were unable to reach the owner, so the snake was taken to animal control. No officers, drivers, passengers, or snakes were harmed. Maybe they meant to leave it.
All right, well, let's move
along from that.
Yep.
Okay. Newly released video shows a dramatic rescue of an injured hiker on Oregon's Mount Hood. Authorities say a 55-year-old hiker was critically injured after falling 700 feet down a frozen surface over the weekend. Now, a couple of off-duty military medics saw him fall That's lucky, and they were able to help him out.
Oh, 2 forest rangers were also in that area. I mean, this guy's pretty lucky, and they provided first aid to that injured climber. A number of agencies, they worked together to get the man off the mountain and to a hospital, including the State National Guard's 189th Aviation Regiment. Now, at last check, that injured hiker still recovering, but is expected to be okay. So that's a happy ending there.
We'll be right back.
All right, we're watching a few of the showers and storms locally start to fall apart, but there's still a decent thunderstorm out to the west, south of Brackettville. A lot of lightning with this one. So if you're in Quemado, you should just be aware that it's going to get pretty noisy soon. Starting off the day tomorrow with mostly sunny skies, and then in the afternoon, a 30% chance for a few downpours. That's going to be the case Friday too, and then we dry out over the weekend and hot next week.
All right, thank you, Sarah, and thanks for watching the news at 6.
We'll see you on the Night Beat right here.